Hello and welcome to another episode of TOMSTC, and today we're going to be reviewing the CHIGEE XR-1. Now if you're familiar with the channel, you know I do a lot of reviews on dash cams and Apple CarPlay, Android Auto systems for motorcycles, and one of the systems that I use is CHIGEE. They've sent me this dash cam system, the XR-1, to review on my wife's Trident 800, Triumph Trident 800, which he's recently brought, and we feel like this is a perfect dash cam to go on that bike. So in today's video, what we're going to do an unboxing, we're going to do a quick fit into the motorcycle, and we're also going to take it out for a ride and see how well those cameras perform. So without further ado, let's get it out of the box, we'll get it fitted to the bike, and we'll see what it's all about.
TOMSTC.
As always with CHIGEE, the packaging is always of very good quality. As you can see here, it shows you what's in the box. When we open the box, you've got a little bit of instructions that you can scan a QR code to get some more information. This is the main unit, the recording unit, which you'll also need to get yourself a separate SD card as well. I'll put a recommended one in the description below. Here we've got the power lead, followed by the cameras, and as you can see, the quality of these is very, very good. These are waterproof, weatherproof, everything proof. They will not break unless you decide to smash them into the ground. And this is a rear one because you can see the cable is a little bit extra long. Although to be fair, sometimes you need that the other way around. It doesn't matter where the cameras go. This is a splicing tool, and we'll look into that later on, how that works on the bike. These are the tools. You'll need this because it uses torque security tools. And this is the remote control where you can start recording and stop recording and save files if you need to. The device will obviously start recording automatically as soon as you start the bike, but this does give you a little bit of control when you're out and about if you need it. And here's the mounting bracket for that part. And those are the camera mounts as well. So overall, the quality of the product is superb. All we've got to do is get it mounted onto the bike. Before you get that far, there's a couple of things you need to do. And one of those things I recommend is to get the bracketry mounted onto the cameras, because this can be rather fiddly when it's actually on the bike. So get this all set up and ready to go before you get to the point where you actually need to mount your camera. Next up, make sure you get your SD card mounted into the unit before you do anything, because if you've got it mounted on the bike, it's a pig to get it all off again and get that SD card in, especially if it's a cramped area where you mounted it. So I've removed the battery. There's a bolt on the inside of this panel here, and then there's this clip panel here, well, it's a panel that just clips onto the side here, and then there's a bolt there, and then the whole unit just slides off like so, and that will give you access to the right hand side. Now you've got enough side panels on, it gives you enough access to actually pull the panels away and feed the cables through. This is obviously different depending on what bike you're doing it on. This is just for the Trident 800. Here I'm feeding the cable for the front camera and the remote control down the side of the bike. It's pretty easy to get them through, and they'll pull through nice and easy. In the CHIGEE package, you'll get a very nice set of Velcro ties. These work really well to separate the cables from the rest of the cabling on the bike and make them easily identifiable in the future. I recommend that you use those. If you want more information about mounting this sort of system on a bike, check out my video in the top right hand corner now, which gives you a full guide about mounting up the electrics and everything else. Next up, you can mount the remote control on the mirror mounts. This is a really easy thing to do. Just remove that top bolt, slide in the bolt that's provided, which is a little bit longer and has a spacer on it. On this bike, I had to actually put a couple of extra washers in just to make sure it fitted properly. Then you can mount the bracket for that remote. I decided to mount it like this just because it meant it was easier for Sarah to get her thumbs to it should she need to. Make sure it's nice and solid, and then you can stick it on using the double-sided foam tape provided. Once you've got everything connected up, it's then a case of just connecting it up to the battery. Make sure that you put the black cable on the minus terminal or the negative terminal, and the red cable on the plus terminal or the positive terminal, but always make sure you put the red cable on first. The yellow cable is the ignition ACC cable. This needs to go to a switch live. In this case, I've actually spliced it into the USB cable for the bike. So we're about halfway through, I'd say. I've got everything back together, the battery's back in, panels are all back on, nothing's mounted yet, and I just wanted to make sure that I could get the actual control box working. So what I've done is I've connected the switch live to the USB accessory, which is something that we had put on separately, and it was just using the white cable to connect. So you've got like a yellow cable that comes out of the battery connectors, and I've put that into the white cable there, ready to go. And I'll probably wrap some insulating tape around that to keep that nice and safe and dry. So usually what I would do is actually connect that accessory wire to the ignition fuse, because I'm a naughty boy, but I've never had any problems. And if you look at my video up here somewhere, I actually do a full rundown on connecting these sorts of things to motorbikes. But as this is a new bike and it's my wife's, I thought I'd try out using a live switch like this. So let's give the bike a turn on, and there we go. The unit turns on and starts speaking Chinese. This unit actually has voice notifications as well, so you know if there's a problem with it.
设备未激活，请连接 APP 激活设备。Device not activated. Please connect to the app to activate the device.
So there we go. That is the unit now working. I've just got to connect all the cameras up.
Format the SD card.
Format.
Short press the lock button to start formatting.
Connect everything up, cameras, and away we go. Okay, so that's the device all set up now. Both cameras work really well. I've just got to mount them all on the bike. The device will ask you to format the SD card. Now, you need to buy the SD card separately. I've got 128 gig one in there. I'll put the actual recommended spec of SD card that you need. You don't need 128 gig. You can get a 32 gig, 64 gig. It doesn't matter. But the device will ask you to set that up. You need to download the CHIGEE Go app. You need to register the device with your email address, and then you need to connect to it, and then you can basically download the images, download what you need. You can also take the SD card out from the device here if you really need to, and you can also connect to USB to download it. But mainly, all you're going to need is your phone to download that. So what I'm going to do now is tidy up all these cables, get it all mounted properly, and I'll come back to you when that's done. Okay, so that's the million miles of cable now under the seat, and I've checked and the seat does mount okay. There's the unit in there, as you can see, and that should have plenty of airflow to keep that nice and cool. So there is definitely a lot of cables, and it's quite hard to get the cables in and tidy under the seat, but they are there now, so that's good. I've also mounted the control up here in that direction, because I think that way it's going to be easier to reach overall without getting in the way of any buttons. So what you've got there is you've got your lock to lock the video down, and also to stop recording if you want to. Then on the front, I have mounted the front camera to the headlight like so, ready to go, and then all I've got to do is line them up, and I'll do that through the app. But there we go, that's all mounted pretty much on the bike. I've just got to do the rear one, and I think I'm going to stick that up under there like so. But other than that, the bike is now all set with the new CHIGEE XR-1 camera system. As you can see, I've mounted the camera successfully on the rear and on the front. They just use self-adhesive pads and they fit nicely. Once I managed to get the cables as tidy as I possibly could on this tiny little, very compact bike with very little space under the plastics, it's time to get out and test it and see how good the quality is on this CHIGEE XR-1 unit. Okay, so here we are out on the bike, and as you can see, the quality is actually pretty good. The bitrate on the CHIGEE is much higher than most of the other unit dashcam only systems, but this one seems to be pretty good overall. You can read number plates, you can see detail and everything else. Yes, the colors are a little bit washed out, but I think otherwise it's pretty good. I also like the fact that it measures your speed using GPS, your direction you're going in, it has a date and it has a time. Not only that, you can actually get a map of the trek that you did, or the journey as it were. And here we have the rear cam looking at me, following my wife behind. As you can see everything around you. You can see very good quality. The frame rate is 60 frames per second. Although to be fair, I'm not sure how true that is. You can also change it down to 30 frames a second if you want to. So I think that this camera system is actually pretty good, and it's one of the best qualities I've seen from dashcam systems overall, but it's still only really a dashcam system in its own right, and it will obviously mean that it's not your word against someone else's in an accident. The system also records sound as you ride, but it's not the greatest, and it's just an inbuilt internal microphone on the main unit. Here's a little bit of a sample. But then again, I think it's good enough. Anyway, let's go back to the garage for some final thoughts. Well guys, we're back here in the garage, and there's a few more things I want to talk to you about what this device can actually do, as well as just recording your ride. The app that comes with this system is really intuitive. You can connect to it via Wi-Fi, you can download all your videos. They record in whatever you choose. They can record up to 3-minute loop recording. You can set all this in the app. You can change how sensitive the device is. You can change the quality of the videos if you wish. I've got it set on the 60 frames per second at the highest resolution, and I think that's fine with the 128GB card that's in there. Not only that, you can check things like if your bike has been knocked. You can also see GPS tracking on the device as well, so that will show you your route on every ride that you've done, which is really nifty, especially if you've been somewhere you haven't been before and you want to check out where that was. The device has some security systems built into it as well. If your bike gets knocked when you're not there, it will make an audible beep, so kind of like an alarm, and will start recording as well. So when you get back to the bike, you can have a look at your videos and see if anybody's tried to nick your bike, or in case walked into it as well. Imagine if like a car knocked your bike over when it was parking and you didn't have any evidence of that. Well, now you do. And that's the other thing with these devices. I think they're really important for that sort of thing. If you're out on a ride and you have an accident, you've got it recorded. You've got your arse covered by the fact that it's been recorded. Now, obviously, if you're at fault, you're also recorded as well. So there is some pros and cons with having something like this on your motorcycle. It's not a perfect system. The quality of the video, although the best quality on a motorcycle dashcam I've seen, it still leaves a lot to be desired. You could effectively get an action cam like a DJI Action 4 for a lot less and have higher quality, but you're not having your ride recorded all the time. You haven't got those features of obviously having it lock in a file when you have an accident. So the system is an automatic system, but it would have been nice to see some slightly higher quality from a device at this price range. Having said that, the price range of this device is actually pretty competitive with other devices on the market. And if you're interested, you can get 10% off at checkout on the CHIGEE website with the code TOMSTC. But on a bike like the Triumph Trident, which is a small, well, mid-sized naked motorcycle where you don't want a big screen and everything else on there because it's already got the Triumph system built in and you just want the cameras for security, Where I've put the cameras, it's pretty discreet. You're not really going to see it unless you're looking for them. So generally, I think they're really good for the naked bikes and any bike really, but it works really well on the Triumph Trident 800. And on that note, thank you so much for watching. If this is your first time watching, please hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, comment below and let me know what you think. If you've got any other questions that you want me to answer, I'll do my best in the comments below. This is not a sponsored video, but the device was supplied to me free of charge for review. I do have a relationship with CHIGEE. If you check out my other videos as well, I review their products in very similar fashion to this one. Anyway, I'll see you next time here on TOMSTC.